What would you think if I said we have a Momo Italy steering wheel? It'd be a sports car of sorts? No, it's a Land Cruiser Prado. So this is the Toyota Land Cruiser. This is a Prado version. Now this one in particular has the electronic hub lock. However, the mechanism has died. But don't worry, manual locking hubs have been installed, so they're either free or lock, and you can turn it yourself like that. So that's not a problem at all. Now we have winter tires on this one, and that's, well, could be detrimental based off of the time in which you send it to Canada, but either way, it could actually work in our favor because we were looking to land this around the winter time anyways, and it is a very capable winter vehicle in and of itself. So the back has a, what do you call that, 70-30 split, I guess. It's not quite 60-40, but that's what it is. Now, apparently there's 8 seats in this car. I thought there were 7, so there's 2, 3, and 3, which is pretty phenomenal, actually. It is rather difficult to get the people in and out of the rear because there's only doors. There's no sliding doors, you know what I mean? So there's 4 doors on this, but either way, that's not, honestly, that's not going to break the idea of this vehicle, and if anything, it just helps even more. You have a massive air canister here. This is a diesel turbo as well. It is not just a diesel. And this is a gigantic battery, huge rad. This is a kind of off-roadery vehicle, of course. It's very hyper capable. This body is very desirable. I believe it was red prior, as you can see the red paint here, but it wasn't because of an accident or anything. It is in fact a clean title. It's just simply a color change. Everything seems to be here, honestly. Everything's, all the pieces are there. You got this little side mirror as well. The antenna goes up and down. There doesn't seem to be any rust on the welds or any corrosion or oxidation or anything like that. You got the side steps. Let's look at this side. All the plastic bits are here. It's just a little bit dirty, but you have sport mode, normal mode, ECT. You have oil temperature, automatic temperature, and it is a automatic transmission with a manual locking, what do you call it? You can go high, neutral, or low. And you have a Corio Zero, which is Panasonic DVD deck / TV. So unfortunately the TV is UHF, but it only works in Japan, so that won't work in any other country, but it's still usable as a DVD player. You got an ETC reader right there, drive camera recorder, sunroof, which is actually pretty rare in Japan. There's not many cars with sunroofs, and that's a legitimate findings that I have discovered over the years. There doesn't seem to, well, there's a little bit of corrosion on the coolant, but that can just be wiped off. Doesn't seem to be anything missing from this car other than the electronic hub locking control. The button's still there. Other than that, everything does seem to be here. Obviously, it's a 30-something-year-old car, so a lot of the weather stripping on the exterior is, well, crusting and peeling, but the weather stripping on the inside is completely fine and nice and squishy, so it's going to keep out all the moisture and whatnot. Seats are dirty, but everything's here. You even have all-weather floor mats on top of the OEM, so you got the Land Cruiser OEMs, and then I think this just goes like that and then folds down maybe. Oh, the whole seat comes up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that whole seat comes up and then it reveals seats in the back. Headliner's intact. Does this window pop out? It might. It does. It's one of those popping windows, like on an RX-8. My RX-8 had that, so you can pop it out to breathe. Although it doesn't actually open, it does breathe. So I'll go and crank the car on real quick. Starts right up. There's a selector, gear selector. You can up your idle as well. This is totally old school 90s, the way everything feels, everything, the way it looks. I love it. You have a oh my god handle right there, some handles to hold on right there, and handles to get yourself in and out of the car because it is fairly high, and that does reflect into the rear as well. I noticed when I got in, you do have that, so you can easily get in, which I rather enjoy. It's a very wide car for Japan, honestly. It is a Japanese car, of course, obviously. They only made the Prado in certain markets, none of them North America, Canada, or America, so unfortunately they are all imported from Japan, and a couple other select markets they had them in. I love this. Someone put this over there. It says crew only. It's probably going to stay there because it's melded in with the door card, but other than that, you get the OEM rain visors, and everything seems completely copacetic. I love these side steps. I love the interior color. It's not old man tan. It's a little bit on the more kind of chocolate brown side. It's honestly, it has a lot of character, this car. You have open slide, tilt up. Man, this car's just, it's non-stop findings. This is my wife's friend's car, and I'm just checking it over and inspecting it and whatnot. I must say, I've never driven, I've never touched, I've never even really seen up close a Land Cruiser, a Prado, a Hilux, any of those cars. And this is one of those cars that can, it's not really an all-year car. I mean, it's subjective. I mean, if you're a camper, if you're a hunter, you can say, oh yeah, you can use this in the summer and whatnot. It is more of kind of, it's a multi-purpose, but it's pretty bad on gas. I know it's diesel, but all things considered, it is kind of a guzzler, and it is diesel, which can be seen as a negative for some people and a massive positive for others. It really just does depend on the person. I'm personally more into kind of mountain, I'm a fair weather driver. I'm not an off-roader. I don't do four-wheel driving. I don't do mudding and all that kind of stuff. So it really doesn't appeal to me, but I can see the prestige in this body, in this lore around this car. The Land Cruiser, the Prado, the Hilux Surf, the Mitsubishi Pajero. I very well appreciate and understand the contributions that these cars make to the automotive industry. It doesn't appeal to everyone, but it appeals to a great large group of people that want a rugged outdoor multi-purpose vehicle. So that's it. It's a diesel turbo, it's a 3-liter, it's a Toyota. You're gonna get a massive Toyota tax on these cars if you find one. So let's see what we can do with it, if we do anything with it.